Hello guys, welcome to our channel Coders Arcade. This is Asham David, and in today's video, we are going to talk about Fibonacci series using recursion in C++. So before I start with this video guys, I would like to request you people to please like, share and subscribe to our channel Coders Arcade, and don't forget to press the bell icon so that you won't miss any future updates. So without any further ado, let's get right into the topic. So, if you haven't heard about recursion, we have a lot of different videos on recursion, and you can go ahead and watch those videos. I'll give the link in the description below. But if you know recursion, we know this that recursion happens when a function calls itself again and again. So we write the function call in itself. So for example, we are going to do the Fibonacci recursion here directly. So I'm going to create a function here called as int fib, and this is going to take a variable int n as the parameter. Now inside this, I'm going to write multiple conditions. In the main function, what we are going to do is we are going to initially start by taking some inputs into the input from the user. We can take int n, where I can just say cout. First, let's ask from the user how many numbers he wants in the series. So I'm going to say enter a number. Okay. And I'm going to say here, enter a number. And then I'm going to say cin, and this will go into this n. And after this, let's create, because when we call this function, if I call this function right here, it will give me that particular Fibonacci number rather than giving me the Fibonacci series till that particular number. So for that, I need to repeatedly call this function again and again. So multiple values are returned at one every single call. So to do that, I'm going to create a for loop here. So I'm going to say here int I, you start from 0, then I will go till less than. In this case, what we can do is we can just take or we can just say we'll just say I is less than n and I plus plus, and then here inside this I'm going to call this function with multiple values of I. So what happens is that also it will get printed with some space as well. Okay. So it will print other Fibonacci numbers also in the same line. This is gonna be the basic main function in this case. And here you see we have int n. We have taken the input from the user into this, and then we have called it multiple times. So once the value is passed here, for every fib of I, that means fib of 0 or the number of iterations, if the user has entered 5, then it will say 0 to 4. So for every iteration of I, we need to find the Fibonacci number. And to do that, I can write this condition here. We will say return. And here I can say fib of the most popular one and the easiest one is going to be n plus n fib of n minus 1 plus fib of n minus 2. So I'll start with fib of n minus 2 plus fib of n minus 1. This is the most popular condition that we have here in the Fibonacci series. But the thing is that we need to write the base condition also where the recursion will stop. So I'm going to write this into if else conditional statement. So if the n value is equals to 0, in that case, it should return 0, or if the n value is equals to 1, then it should return 1 itself. So I'm going to say here, you return n itself. And in the else part, this will be kept actually here. Okay. This is going to be the function for us for this Fibonacci series. And here the semicolon will come. You see, now in every time, I'll explain you in a moment, just a moment here. I'm just going to run this and I'll just see if this code is running or not. I'll say 5. There you go. The first 5 Fibonacci series is printed. Good. So let's understand about what happened here. This is the function which recursively calls. So this is the recursive call, and again it is calling the whole thing. Let's understand here. Okay, so now if we are talking about this, then our equation was fib of n. One second. The equation was fib of n minus 2 plus fib of n minus 1. I'm going to write it like f, otherwise it will become too much hectic. I'll say just fib of n minus 2 plus fib of n plus n minus 1, right? If we solve this, suppose the n value is passed as 0 from the first iteration of the for loop, the I value is 0, then fib of I will be called, and in that case, the n value becomes 0. So fib of 0, and see, in that case, then what will happen is, when the n value is 0, it will return n and 0 will be printed. When the value of I will change to 1, the 1 will be returned and it will be printed. But when the n value will become 2, in that case, what will happen? Say suppose n value becomes 2. In that case, what happens? It will say fib of 2 minus 2, which is 0, plus fib of 2 minus 1, which is 1. Fib of 1 will return you 0, and fib of 0 will return you 0, and fib of 1 will return you 1, which means 0 plus 1 and 1 will be given. So already 0 and 1 is printed. Again, 1 will be printed. This is for n value equals to 0, n value equals to 1, and this will be n value equals to 2. When the n value becomes 3, in that case, what happens is, let me just write it like properly. If the n value becomes 3, here, the n value becomes 3, in that case, it will become fib of 3 minus 2, which is 1, plus 3 minus 1, which is 2. So fib of 1 will return you 1, but fib of 2 will again return you fib of 0 plus fib of 1. In this case, it will return you 0, this will return you 1, and hence 1 plus 1, 2 will be returned, and in this case, 2 will be printed. When the value of n becomes 4, in that scenario, what happens is, you can see, let me just write it here. I'll just say, here it will be fib of 4 minus 2, which is 2, plus fib of 4 minus 1, which is 3. So it will become fib of 0 plus fib of 1. This will go here, fib of 3 minus 2, which is 1, plus fib of 2. In this case, this will return you 0. Well, this will return you 1. This will return you 1. But here it will again create fib of 1 plus fib of 0. In this case, it will return you 1 and this will return you 0. So 1, 2 and 3, which is going to be 3. Next, when the value of n becomes 4 and these values are printed. This is how the Fibonacci is working in this case. This is that particular condition that we are checking, and it is again and again calling itself and returning that particular value one at a time inside this, which is getting printed with some spaces. And this is how their Fibonacci recursion program is working in C++. So this is how it is working, guys. Thanks for watching. This is all for this video. If you have any doubts, please ask us in the comment section below, and I'll try my best to clear all your doubts. And that's all for this video, guys. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. This is Ashan David signing off. I'll see you guys in the next one.